I am going to walk you through the very first moment I go into this house and look at a new bathroom. I'm going to go through with the customer. They've called me out to do their ensuite bathroom and they want to completely renovate it. So what I want to do is take you through the process of that very first port of call of speaking to the customer, going through them initial ideas, giving them an idea on what we can do, what we can't do. And I just thought it'd be really interesting to take you along and show you my process when I first go out to quote for a bathroom. So I'm Mark, this is Real World Plumbing. So let me take you through looking at a bathroom for the first time with a customer to get it renovated. So we did a bathroom here about 3 years ago. When we got up the stairs, I quickly poked my head in and show you. I'm sure some of you will remember it. It was one that I'd never done before. So some of you will remember that one. Probably for the herringbone tiling, but there was that shower, there was a bath in there. We removed the bath and put a walk-in sunk down shower. So that still looks really good for 3 years down the road. Right, let's take you in. What's that? Oh, I remember it. Let's pop them there. Right, this is it. It's a big old bathroom.
Yeah.
So what, have you got a rough plan of what you want to do with it, or?
Like a bath.
Yeah.
Bath.
Freestanding bath down the end?
Yeah, wherever you think is. We don't need all of this space for the sinks, so we can reduce that. These sinks are a nightmare.
In what way?
Well, they leak around here because the plumbing's all off.
Do you want to keep 2 sinks or not?
Not necessarily.
Well, maybe
No.
maybe one big one or something.
Because you've got enough room, you've got loads of room to be able to.
Well, the bath is the main thing.
Here.
Big freestanding bath, wherever
Yeah.
that goes best. And then.
But we'd also like to keep a freestanding shower somewhere as well.
In this corner down here?
Yeah, possibly.
If
Yeah.
that works best.
Well, yeah, because you've already got the feeds in,
Yeah.
you've got the waste. Do you use that shower?
Yeah,
All the time.
Yeah, so there's no issue pipe work wise with it, like the waste of it.
Just needs to go higher, because it's about my height at the moment. So it's like. the shower is
Oh, the shower, yeah. We can lift.
on my
Well, what
face.
you could do here is put, like a high rainfall one coming off the top.
Yeah.
You can have the rainfall off the top and the body one, but again, you could, even with it, whether you wanted to, you can have a screen coming to here.
Yeah.
And then just a walk-in.
I think
at the
I prefer
end.
that. This one feels quite enclosed.
Yeah.
Because
Even though it's big, it's still.
Because of that angled off there, it feels quite enclosed. It'd be good.
Because you've got enough room, especially with this. If you imagine that not here and your main focal point of a freestanding bath at the end, and let's say a basin there,
Yeah.
but that still leaves loads of room here.
Yeah, I think so.
You could have that glass panel, for argument's sake, coming to here, and then you're just literally walking in and out.
Only thing I thought, I wanted that originally, I like that idea, but it's just the kids use it. No, the kids would use their own one, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they don't have to.
Yeah.
They'll be fighting for the bath.
That'd be good. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they'll be in it.
Yeah, they'll
be diving
there.
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could fit a massive bath there.
Yeah, I just really miss that.
What's here?
That, don't look in there.
You're not allowed to look in there.
That's my Monica cupboard.
Right, okay. So, do you want to keep that?
So that, originally, the original owners, that was the shower.
Oh.
And so they ripped the shower out, and there was a bath in here. There was a bath over here. So they turned that into a cupboard, and they got rid of the bath and put in the shower instead. So that was originally the shower.
So would you want to keep that as a cupboard?
Yeah, well, it's really useful. I don't mind.
Unless it gets them in the way of the bath.
That's what I was thinking, but then again, you've got 600, 700 here. So to get the bath directly under that window is going to be, you're not going to get to that.
Yeah.
So I think the bath is going to have to come sort of here for you to be able to go in and
More
use.
of an angle.
Or I suppose you could.
I mean,
could you go on an angle?
if you had an angle and one of those, can you get a big massive tap like coming up and over? Like if I do
Yeah.
that, or?
No, yeah, you can get big floor standing taps that come up and over the top.
Because otherwise you've got dead space in here if you put it on an angle, which doesn't seem like a good idea.
You could have the bath end one in there,
Yeah.
but bearing in mind if you want to keep that, you're going to have to I mean, what's the measurement for that? Let's have a look. So by having a bath, give or take, butted up to there, bearing in mind a normal bath's 1700, where my thumb is there is 1400.
Well, you know, you could always put a cupboard somewhere else. You could always.
No, you've cut off the room.
Well.
But then again, if you're, see, this is the other end of the shower next door, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you've got a. Yes, it is there, and then you've got an airing cupboard there.
Yeah.
Unless we just had shelves, you could make it into nice shelves, or like just from
halfway out.
From halfway out, and just have a cupboard from halfway out.
What, across there?
Yeah.
And then encase that in and get rid of that. The thing is, it's a big area to lose, isn't it?
Yeah.
You definitely want the bath under the window?
No.
Oh, okay.
You don't. We can be anywhere.
So you wouldn't be advised to having it over
No.
here? Oh, okay. I just assumed you wanted it under there.
Well, I mean, it would. I suppose that would be a nice focal point, but it doesn't have to be.
If you had a long ways there, where'd you have a sink then? Because where's everything coming up? I think it all comes up centrally and then goes across.
Yeah, doing that isn't too bad.
Yeah, all the plumbing comes up through there.
I mean,
Comes
you
up
know,
through
you
the
could
floor.
come
Yeah.
across here to.
Just thinking whether you could have a bath here. I mean, I know a freestanding bath's.
Unless it's on that angle, so you do so it's slightly on an angle, like that, and then you still can get into that cupboard, but it doesn't come quite as far this end.
I'm just thinking really of it. Is all this coming out?
Yeah, I mean, we don't.
When you say, what, do you mean this, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever's built up?
Yeah. Did you want just a flat ceiling with this out?
Yeah.
Any idea what the purpose of that would have been?
Just aesthetically, just to
design.
give it that sort of
Spotlights
hotel
coming
feel,
down.
isn't it?
Yeah. And that's another question. These tiles, would you take them all off? That's probably a monster job, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, getting all.
But do we want them all off? Or
Yeah,
is
yeah, oh
all
yeah,
gone?
yeah. In an ideal world, yeah, you get them all off.
Is that what you would do rather than
Yeah.
tile over them?
No, you wouldn't want to tile over them. You just get them off and start again. You'd probably have to reboard it as well.
Yeah.
So
And then the question is whether we tile it all again or like tile halfway and plaster the rest.
yeah, you could.
Paint it.
I don't think we should tile it all.
No, I prefer
It's
it.
very clinical when you tile up the whole
Yeah.
bathroom. It can look really clinical.
I think it works in like a wet room, but I don't think it's
Yeah.
as good.
And I think let's say for argument's sake you had a big bath, a big freestanding bath here, you could always have like a feature wall behind that, tile just that area,
Yeah.
and then like drop here and half height,
Yeah.
Yeah.
full tile there, half height round.
Yeah.
It's nice because you can get good, better colours in there, can't you?
Yeah.
You've got something to paint.
And a nice pattern floor.
It's just, I don't know where you go bath-wise. It's a big room, but then when you're trying to put a bath in,
Yeah.
it's awkward,
Where
isn't
was the
it?
bath before, did you say? Oh, it was
On here.
instead of the shower.
It was here. Yeah.
So instead of the shower.
It was there.
And then the shower was in there, so.
Yeah.
I mean, what about having a bath here?
Yeah. And then where would the shower go?
You could put a big bath there, shower.
Shower in this corner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the width there?
You'd be taking all that there.
Yeah, all that comes. So you've got 800 there. You could have a shower. You could have a really nice and deep
Yeah.
shower.
Yeah.
Just
For argument's sake, say there.
Amazing.
So you could have a shower there, big bath there. I think toilet-wise, there's only going to be one 4-inch soil stack that side because of where that is.
Yeah.
So you couldn't move your toilet this side. So if you had a big bath there,
Yeah.
toilet there, shower there, maybe. It's going to be awkward there, is it? Let's work to that point there. There's a 1400 shower. You could go an 800. You've got to get in it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Or you could go just a glass screen here.
Well, no, you could get you get in it from that side, don't you?
You'd probably have your head here.
Yeah.
with the rainfall here,
Yeah.
with a glass screen across there.
Yeah. But you could have a door.
You could have one with a door,
Yeah.
or I was thinking just a glass panel and just walk in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer that.
Again,
that cuts it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's just ideas that we can throw around when we get a rough
Yeah.
idea at this point. Yeah, layout wise, it's a bit tricky, isn't it? But I mean, that could work. You could have, am I right, just,
Yeah.
so you could have a 1,000 glass screen to here. So from there to there.
And what's this at the moment from there to there?
1,100.
Yeah.
But you imagine it without
Yeah,
that.
exactly. That'd be fine with that. Because this bit, without that, so it would just come out square there, wouldn't it?
So 11, you have 1,000 there, and then
Probably doing woodwork that close to the shower as well, because it probably is going to get some wet off the back of it.
Like we
we
did.
can enclose that side, yeah.
It's just because, like we did in the shower in there, we had the sliding door, which I think worked better. Do you remember?
Yeah, that's more because the kids are going to be using
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. You could have could you have a corner one?
You could have a couple, but then you've got the same.
Except without it being curved on this side.
Have it more straight, have it
Yeah.
more.
Well,
You
like
could,
that, basically.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
maybe,
you
but
could-
then instead, well, I don't know.
you could get you could come out to sort of a metre, so that curve could be at a metre and then
Yeah.
curve in.
So just a bigger version.
Yeah. So you've got a longer version
And then
than
you can
that
get
here.
access it easily, and then allows for space for the same curve.
Yeah, you could have a metre here and then it curve
Yeah,
to there.
Yeah.
So for argument's sake, like that.
yeah,
So a big sort of corner shower, so in theory. Sort of give or take like that.
Yeah, well, it doesn't even, I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, what's that? That's 120 for argument's sake.
Yeah.
You could have something like that with your head and everything down there.
yeah,
And then with that going into here, you could then have your basin here,
yeah,
and it's not going to affect you.
yeah,
Basin here, big freestanding bath here
yeah.
with taps coming out the floor there, and then your toilet.
Yeah, that's even.
And then that also keeps your
Yeah.
cupboard here as well. We could even bring that cupboard out so it's flush to save the in and out of that going in. You know, when we come to it, we could even get a doorway in there so you've got a
Wouldn't
deeper.
want it too deep.
Would you not want it flush with
Well,
that?
it would be hard for me to get things from the bathroom.
Right, yeah.
Unless I had everything in.
Oh, I
Some
suppose,
kind
yeah,
of
it
like
would be
drawer
quite.
system, yeah. It's already quite deep.
Yeah, true.
Probably don't even need the corner bit because it would just cut off to that there. instead
Well,
of-
yeah, you could have a square. You could have a square
We'll just like the glass you said.
with a slider here.
Yeah.
There's,
Well, we'll just look at the different
Yeah, I think.
modules
If we
and
kind of
see.
have a think about just getting the layouts.
Yeah.
yeah, I just think because it's such a. When you first walk in, it's a massive room.
Yeah.
But then when you start looking logistically, like if you want to keep that cupboard, you've
Yeah.
got to allow for that room there. Yes, it would be great to have a massive focal point of a freestanding bath at the end.
Yeah.
But I also think the way that door swings, if you walked in, the first thing you see there is a big freestanding bath, and then put the shower there. There's just so many little bits
Yeah, I think
to
that's
play
the-
around
that's
with.
the way it works, isn't it?
I mean, it's a luxury to have a bath and a shower separately anyway. I mean, that's.
But I think if you didn't, it would look a really sparse
yeah.
room then.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you've got the room, I think, to put that there without it encroaching on everything else that's in there. Because with a big bath there, and then towel rail wise, you could get a slightly thinner one here. Shift that toilet this way a little bit and put a towel rail between there and there, depending on the layout.
Yeah.
But it just gives us a bit of an idea on.
Because it's really useful that being that size, you probably couldn't do with a smaller one.
I mean, you could even go above. You know, if we ran out of space that way, I don't say we're not going to, but if you did, you can even put it there, or you could even have a long one you know, the same as like a bar one, but
Yeah.
longer there. There's just so many different little elements to it, but
We can, get some.
we've got a rough sort of idea, and then we can go through and see what I dare say. We've got freestanding baths, ideas. I mean, like that looks amazing,
Dreamy.
but it's not very comfortable.
Okay.
You wouldn't want to sit in that. I personally wouldn't. You know, it looks amazing. You walk in, you see that, it's amazing, but then you've got your old Victorian style ones, your shoe. I like them.
Yeah.
Again, that one, a double-ended one
Yeah.
with your freestand. So you imagine that there, taps. I mean, what's the depth of that? So that's 1700. So we can work that out in a minute. Again, looks great, but you are literally sitting like an L shape in it.
Yeah.
They are cool though.
You get some like backrests and stuff.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can do. So yeah. So you want it to obviously sit off that wall a bit to give that feel. Does this open all the way around?
Don't know.
No.
I don't know. Sometimes you'll open and they'll drop off.
Yeah.
So let's say a few inches off there to where my thumb is here,
Yeah.
and then what's it, 750. So you're going to be a little off the wall. So you're going to be out to here. So you literally there, that width to there, wide. So it's give or take the same as that.
Yeah.
But lengthwise, 1700. Give or take on that line there.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to be all of that area.
Yeah.
It's going to look cool. But even coming to there, if we shifted that toilet, even 6 inches would give enough then for a.
Yeah.
You might have to shrink that to sort of there, but it would sit nice between the shower then and the toilet. And then you can have your rainfall head. I'm assuming you want like a rainfall shower.
Well,
Rainfall head.
Yeah.
Sorry. Rainfall head and your body shower bit there, because you have your freestanding taps, whether you wanted them centre or at the end.
Yeah.
Just so many things. Yeah, the only thing we can't move because of the way the saw pods run is the position of the toilet, but if you're happy for it to just be shoved down, I think that'll work. Yeah, half height for the rest of it.
Yeah.
I would say that if we're going to do that, because you're going to be painting the walls, we'll have to skim.
Yeah.
Walls,
I assume when you rip these off, it's going to cost some.
I always say to people, I can price to get the tiles off, but I don't know what's behind. I think you said the same in there. You don't know what.
I would assume you're going to have to.
Ceiling. Obviously, we're going to have to redo the ceiling because that. So we'd skim the whole ceiling. Would you want downlighters again? I don't think you need as many as.
Probably.
47. How many you got? All in there.
Well, there's about 3 working.
Yeah, you know, like Nick can advise on it, but I would dare say one, because they've got a good throw pattern now.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, maybe 6, maybe even 4. We'll see.
Yeah.
Getting all that out.
We'll light it by candlelight.
Yeah. With the bath. Yeah.
At least you got a bit of a plan.
Yeah.
But I could go away tonight and you go, no, actually, we want the bath.
No, I'm happy with that.
I just
As long as it's
assumed.
got everything we
It's
need
just a
in the
measurement thing,
back.
isn't it?
Yeah.
That's where it seems to fit.
It's
better,
getting a
so.
room of this shape and style to work. And like I said, even if that wall was further back, it would open up a lot more. But when you first walk in, it's a big bathroom. But then when you start putting stuff in it, it can soon fill it up. So there we go, that was the walkthrough with the customers, the very first point of call of doing this bathroom. We've thrown a few ideas around, we've changed it, and I've advised a few little bits, as you would have seen. But we've basically decided, at the moment, with the freestanding bath going here, originally we was hoping to get it over there, but it just doesn't work with that cupboard and various other bits. So what we're going to work on is a big freestanding bath here, move this tower out to the side slightly, maybe move the toilet that way because the soil pipes and everything for that toilet are in that wall. So we're going to move that across to the side. So then freestanding bath there, and that'll work there. The cupboard, they want to keep the cupboard there. It will free up a lot of space here, so we could possibly have a horizontal tower out there maybe. And then what we're going to do off this side, from here, we're going to have an 800 wide shower to probably 1200 maybe 1400 depending. Take all of this lot out, take this header out, and shower in there with an enclosure on. Basin, vanity unit here. So that's going to be the layout. At the moment, we've sort of thrown a few ideas around. It's changed a little bit, as you'll have seen. But also, when we rip this out, all the tiles are coming off. I'm going to have to reboard and skin the walls because we're having half height. We're having a full height in the shower, but everywhere after that is going to be half height tiling so that the customer can then paint the top half. And obviously, if we plaster it, it's fresh plaster, it'll look neat. Ceiling wise, because this has got to come out, obviously we're going to have to do the ceiling. So we'll reskin the ceiling, board reskin the ceiling, new downlighters, basically everything. Oh, floor wise, again, tiles on the floor. They've currently got underfloor heating, but they've never used it or it's never been on. So they're not overly fussed about having underfloor heating, but what I will do, in the price, I will put in underfloor heating in, because it's going to be electric system. It's not too bad, it'll go in when the floor's tiled. Floor tiled, and yeah, basically go from there. So what I'll do now, I'll spend a bit of time measuring the walls, writing it all down, rough layout of it, and then I can go away and work a rough costing out from what we've got. Then the customer can go through and choose sort of suites that they're interested in, and then it'll all come together from there really. Once we've accepted the quote, and we can work together and get it pinned down. But yeah, I just thought I'd take you through that, especially being a customer of mine that I've done work for before. I said, do you mind if I film it? Yeah, brilliant. I just thought it might be a little bit of a nice insight for people to see what we do when we go to look at bathrooms like this. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop me a comment below, let me know what you think, and then hopefully, touch wood, this bathroom will be coming to the channel in a few months' time, but there'll be a lot of work in this one. I think it'll be a nice project. So hit the subscribe button so you don't miss it.